Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Note to Self. Today, I'm really excited to share the content in this episode because for me, it is something that I consistently come back to and have come back to for years. It's something that I share with my private one-to-one coaching clients, but not something that I've spoken into in a podcast or in a YouTube video. So I'm really excited and happy to bring forth this information for you today because this information will shine a light on what might be inhibiting you from tapping into your potential in life, in any area of life. That could be relationships, that could be career, that could be finances. This episode is sure to illuminate things for you and create a lot of spaciousness and inspiration. So before I get started, I just want to remind you all who might be listening at this point in time that I am presently taking on new one-to-one life coaching clients, and I'm having my very epic promotion on right now, which is $1,500 off my 3-month program, making it a total of $3,000 US, and that can be paid over a span of 12 months. So I have payment plans up to 12 months, so that means that you can get started with me as early as next week for $250. So I am super excited to be welcoming in an abundance of new souls into my space to do the one-to-one core energy coaching journey together. So if you're ready to tap into your potential, if you're really ready to hold yourself accountable to the changes that you would like to see in your life, coaching is for you, and I would be so happy and grateful to work with you. So yeah, reach out to me via the email below if you're interested, and let me now get into the core influencers. So as mentioned, I am a certified professional life coach through IPEC, and this material that I'm sharing with you today comes from IPEC. And if you yourself are interested in being a coach as well, I have a special discount. If you want to go through the program, you can always send me an email or send me a DM at any point in time, and I can give you access to that. So what I'm going to be sharing with you today is called the core influencers. So the core influencers are the spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, social, and environmental factors that can work for you, and to any degree that they do not detract from your performance. The factors that influence performance vary from person to person and sometimes from situation to situation. The way you respond to anything you're about to do, or the way you approach a situation or a set of circumstances, is unique to you. What doesn't affect your energy in one situation may detract from it in another. So anytime you're not performing to the best of your ability, something is blocking your energy, and most likely a spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, social, or environmental factor is holding you back. So as I'm about to introduce you to each of these influencers individually, I encourage you to use this podcast episode almost like a coaching session in itself. So think about an area of your life where you feel like you're not tapping into your potential, right? Feeling like, I know I can do better, but I don't really know what's here. And as I move through these influencers, see what illuminates for you or becomes one of those aha moments, shifts, or epiphanies that will create space for you to move forward with ease, with accelerated momentum and tapping into your potential and just feeling like, yeah, I've got this. I know what I need to do, and I'm going to take my next steps. So the first influencer is spiritual. So spiritual influencers involve your purpose, beliefs, values, gifts, desires, goals, etc., in relation to what you specifically want to do and how you want to do it. So spiritual influencers detract from energy. So that means that an influencer might be blocking in some way or taking energy in some way when whatever you are doing causes you to question or comes into conflict with your values, purpose, goals, connection, and beliefs. So an example that I can personally give you around a spiritual influencer is remembering when I was working back in corporate and I felt like I wasn't being treated fairly or even kindly in a lot of different situations and even in my working hours. So that was actually bumping up against my number one value, which is freedom and feeling like I could just be myself. So there is an example there around career, but for whatever the subject matter is for you that you brought to the podcast today, just think about if there's anything there for you that might be rubbing up against values, beliefs, your desires, your goals, your purpose, etc. The next influencer is the mental influencer. So mental influencers involve your clarity as to what you're doing, your ability to remain focused on performing without being distracted, and whether the task is interesting and has the right degree of challenge for you. Mental influencers detract from energy when you multitask, stretch yourself too thin, or have conflicting demands, are distracted, or when a task either bores you or is too challenging for you. I think we can all immediately relate to this mental influencer. I know for me personally, there's been times where I have felt that there was disorganization in my calendar system or like just systems in my business in general. And that just gets my mind spinning its wheels and it's spread too thin. Perhaps things get multi-booked when there's different errors or mishaps going on. So yeah, the mental influencer is a big one. So ask yourself, with what you brought to the podcast today, is there a mental influencer present in that area that's inhibiting you from tapping into your potential? Is there an opportunity for you to organize things, be more efficient? That could even be just like your office space, your desk, right? I'm going to get a little bit into that in a moment though, because it is kind of related to a physical influencer. But first we go to emotional. Emotional influencers involve how well your needs and desires are being met by what you're doing, how excited and enthusiastic you are about doing it, and whether you have the emotional control to be able to choose how to respond instead of react to any given situation. Emotional influencers detract from energy when you feel as if your needs, desires, or expectations are not being met, or when you encounter a situation that you don't understand or don't know how to navigate, or when you do not know how to effectively deal with emotions. I can certainly relate to this one when I think about triggers. There are some triggers in the past where I used to be incredibly reactive, and after taking the life coaching, core energy coaching journey, I've really pulled those triggers up and out from the root where things just don't bother me the way that they used to. Now we're going to get into physical. This one's a big one. This is one that I personally always notice probably first sometimes, is physical influencers involve your awareness of what your body is telling you and how proactive you are in taking care of your physical self. For example, eating in a healthy way, exercising regularly, and practicing preventative care so that you're able to create the physical power that will best serve you to accomplish any given activity. So physical influencers detract from energy when your body is not able to function in an optimal manner or in the manner to which you are accustomed. Lack of sleep, poor eating habits, being over or underweight, illness, and injury can detract from your energy, as can asking your body to perform well past the limitations of its physical capacity. For example, running a marathon when you've never even run a mile. So physical, right? This is our temple. So very much like in the past 2 years, I would say, I've taken a deep journey into my body and embodiment. The work that I've been doing with Combo, my coaches, the support that I had in Bali and have to this day. In healing my spine, I really feel like I came back into my body in a new way. So when I said that I tend to recognize a physical influencer the most is because I'm always tuning in, checking into my body temple of like, oh, am I comfortable right now? I used to live so much in my mind and not in my body that I would sit in a very poor posture at my desk. I would be super uncomfortable. My back would even be in pain, but it's almost like I didn't even notice it. It was just the way that things were. So a physical influencer could be as simple as, okay, if you're sitting down to, let's say, complete a task for your business, are you cold? Like, would actually a sweater support you? Would it actually allow you to be more present in the moment? Like, do you need to use the washroom before you do a particular task or run out to get the things that you need to get for your home, let's say. So really taking the time to tune into the physical body can really grant a lot of awareness. The next influencer is social. Social influencers involve having the right amount of time of interaction with others you play or compete with, and feeling supported before, during, and after the game. This may involve being surrounded by like-minded people who are excited about the same things as you, or you may thrive in a culture that emphasizes individual versus teamwork. Social influencers detract from energy when social conditions aren't optimal for you, or when other people's catabolic, so that means almost like lower level energies, affect your own energy. If you truly enjoy a casual game of golf with friends, but find yourself in a competitive tournament with strangers, your energy will likely be depleted. Even if you're excited about doing something, when others around you are naysayers, their reactions can affect your own energy and enthusiasm. I laugh a little bit because like immediately reading that about like playing games and golf, I think about a date that I was recently on where we were mini golfing. Known this person for a long period of time. We've been friends for many years, but I got a little bit competitive and I was winning at first, and then all of a sudden I was falling behind, and I noticed how my catabolic energy, those lower level emotions, were like creeping in. I was like, oh, I really want to win. Why can't I do this? And so, I feel like sometimes these things are, social conditions can be optimal, but recognize what it's bringing out in you, and then just give yourself a little bit of space to breathe for a minute, and just remember that life in itself is a game, and we're always playing it. We're always just stepping into being a better version of ourselves. So of course, like all of this starts internally, but recognize, like, if you find yourself feeling different energies like competitiveness, you can always just take a moment, go inside, and see if you can just release that. The last influencer here we have is environmental. So environmental influencers involve your belief that your environment will allow you to complete or enjoy the task you're about to do in the way that you'd like to. Environmental influencers detract from energy when you encounter an environment that you believe prevents you from functioning in an optimal manner, or in manner to which you are accustomed. If the skies suddenly open up and it begins to pour during your tennis match, your energy may become depleted. So environmental, for me, this one also affects me quite a bit. And I was actually speaking with my best friend Lo today, and she's like, it's kind of gloomy here, and I'm just feeling like tired and like a bit low. I'm like, same, it's a bit gloomy here and I'm feeling quite tired today. And then I shared with her about the influencers, and that's actually how I'm sitting here today recording this episode for you, because I realized, I don't think I've actually shared this, and it's so powerful when we just allow ourselves to be human and use our level and gift that is awareness to bring ourselves back to, where we're at. So environmental influencers could also be like sitting down at your desk, as I was mentioning before, and if there's clutter around you, or if there's, for example, clutter on your laptop, desktop, like what, if anything, are you tolerating in your environment? This is a great question, a great inquiry. What, if anything, around you are you tolerating in your physical environment that might be inhibiting you from actually tapping into your potential, getting things done faster? Organization is such a gift, and it's definitely a skill that you can learn. Some people might feel like, I used to feel like I was incredibly disorganized and messy, and I've come to love organization to the point where yesterday I was actually Googling like what are the best satisfying organizational TikToks or reels to watch, because I just love watching people organize things. I just find it, of course, very satisfying, but I find that it actually sparks ideas in me of how can I organize and optimize my life, my systems even more. So yeah, ask yourself, look around the room where you're at right now if you're at home, and see if there's anything that you can do to tidy up, organize, to just allow you to flow more effortlessly and easily through your day. Anyways, I hope that you all learned something today. If you like this podcast, please share it. I love to see when you tag me and to interact with you and hear how you're loving the podcast. And I will be back again very soon. Love you guys. Bye.